Now, sit down, please. Pendawn da I bawb, croeso I Gaerdydd ac I Neuadd Dewi Sant. Good afternoon and welcome to you all to Cardiff and to St David's Hall. I'm asked to introduce myself. I don't think I know all of you. My name is Bill John, and it's my privilege to be one of the vice presidents of this magnificent university of ours here in Cardiff. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony, or congregation as it is more accurately called. And in so doing, I wish to extend a particularly warm welcome to those parents, partners, and friends whose support for those graduating today will have played a major part in their success. And we're delighted that you are gathered in such a great company for this particular occasion. But most important of all, I offer my personal congratulations to all of you who are graduating in the School of Social Sciences, in the School of History and Archaeology, and in the School of Welsh, Adran Gymraeg. You have studied to earn your place at this ceremony and to have achieved a qualification from the university which has more than a century of service and achievement behind it, and a very bright future in front of it. And I hope that many of you will be part of that future here locally. You can be confident that the qualification which you have earned from Cardiff is held in high regard, not just in Britain, but worldwide. A very important consideration for a university which competes on a global basis, and for students who wish to pursue careers internationally. This reputation has been gained because of the importance which the university attaches to its teaching mission. No fewer than 21 subject areas have been recognised in government assessments as providing teaching of the very highest quality. Employers endorse that quality, and the university continues to be targeted by major employers, and the employment levels of our graduates remain very strong. I hope that that has been the experience of those of you about to start your careers, whilst those of you continuing your studies will find that you have a solid foundation on which to build. The university also powerfully committed to its research mission. It is one of Britain's leading research-led universities, a status endorsed by the latest government assessment, in which it was ranked 7th of 106 institutions in the UK for the quality of the research undertaken. And we're very proud that 24 of the 28 research areas were recognised as undertaking work of international significance. Of these, 7 were ranked in the very highest possible category. This research delivers social, cultural, and economic benefits and makes a difference to the lives of real people in terms of health, employment, culture, and overall quality of life. Having achieved our strategic aim of becoming one of the top 10 research universities in Britain, we have now set our sights even higher. Our new target is a place in the top 5. That's a very ambitious target indeed. But there will be some amongst you, I've no doubt, who will be continuing research here or elsewhere and coming back to help us to achieve that target in the not too distant future. Of great significance in a few weeks' time is the merger of our activities with those of the University of Wales College of Medicine. This union with our established collaborator and local neighbour will further our ambitions to create a dynamic and internationally competitive university, delivering even greater benefits in teaching, in research, and in the application of knowledge and technology for the benefit of society as a whole. The benefits of our merger plans are already apparent. The unification plan has been critical in securing some £25 million of investment to fund the merger process, new staff appointments, capital investment, and the development of the research infrastructure. This will enable groundbreaking medical research at Cardiff and realise ambitious research plans that will bring benefits to Wales and the world. Of particular note is the £10 million secured to put in place world-leading brain scanning facilities, which will be unique in the United Kingdom. To maintain academic standards at the highest level, heavy investment in new and refurbished buildings has been ongoing. A new laboratory for experimental astrophysics has been provided at a cost of a couple of million, and a high-speed computer network costing £3.5 million makes Cardiff one of the first institutions in the world to benefit from what they describe as next-generation technology in this field. This ceremony is the best evidence of the quality of the scholarship and skill of our staffs in bringing you all to your appropriate degree standard. And for this, they deserve our highest commendation. They have done much to give us the international reputation which we hold at present. And evidence of that is in the international distinction which they have won, especially in prizes, awards, and other distinctions. We are very proud indeed of our academic staff, and I am sure that all of you immediately sitting in front of me will have similar views of from the benefits which you have received of their encouragement and of their scholarship and teaching. But let us return to the ceremony itself. In a few words, just to explain the procedures which may help you in your understanding and enjoyment of the ceremony. If you look into the programme, you will see that the words used for the various stages of the ceremony are printed there under the relevant heading. The congregation will commence formally with the reading of the graduation proclamation in English and in Welsh by Miss Angharad George. Following that, Yvonne Griffith will read the authorisation for the admission of graduates to their degrees, and we will then proceed to admit you to your degrees. That will be done. The graduates will be presented by their head of school, or Pro-Vice-Chancellor or Professor, and will be admitted to their degrees by the Vice-Chancellor, Dr. David Grant. At the end of this process, Eva Griffith will ask all graduates to stand, and you will be greeted by myself and by the Acting Warden of the Guild of Graduates, Professor Harford Williams. This will be followed by a short ceremony to admit the Archbishop of Wales, Dr. Barry Morgan, and Francis Cairncross as honorary fellows and Professor John Percival as a Fellow of the University. They will be introduced to you by the University Orator, Professor David Skilton. I shall then bring the ceremony to a close. Miss Angharad George will now read the proclamation opening the formal ceremony. Thank you.
Gorau awen gwirionedd. Bydded hysbys i aelodau'r Brifysgol ac i bawb sydd yn bresennol, y cynhelir heddiw y 12fed dydd o fis Gorffennaf 2014 yma yn Ninas Caerdydd, gynulliad awdurdodedig Prifysgol Cymru. I dderbyn yw priodol raddau, bersonau da i gair, sydd trwy yfrydiaeth yn y Brifysgol, a thrwy ddysg, medr a dyfalbarhad, wedi teilyngu'r cyfryw raddau yn unol ag ordeiniadau'r Brifysgol. Gyda phob gweddi a dymuniad ar iddynt fwynhau iechyd a hir hoedl i wasanaethu ei hoes a'i cenedl dan fendith y nef. Yna, doleini a gyfyd mewn tywyllwch, ath dywyllwch a fydd fel hanner dydd, a rhai a fyddant ohono ti a adeladant yr hen ddiffeithleoedd. Gorau awen gwirionedd. The best inspiration is truth. Be it known to members of the University and to all here present that an authorised congregation of the University of Wales is being held here in the city of Cardiff on the 12th of July 2004 to admit to their appropriate degrees worthy persons who have, through study at the university and through learning, ability and perseverance, been deemed worthy of such degrees in accordance with the ordinances of the university, in the hope that they may be given health and long life to serve their generation and their country under the blessing of heaven. Then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as noonday, and they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Bydded hysbys i aelodau'r Brifysgol ac i bawb sydd yn bresennol fod y Brifysgol wedi rhoddi'r awdurdod i Dr David Grant dderbyn i'w graddau fyfyrwyr Prifysgol Caerdydd a enillodd raddau yn unol ar rheolau'r Brifysgol. Gwelir enwau'r rhai y gellir ei derbyn i'w graddau yn y cynulliad hwn yn yr rhestrau printiedig sydd wedi ei dosbarthu. Let it be known to members of the University and to all who are present that the University has granted authority to Dr David Grant to admit to their degrees students of Cardiff University who have qualified for degrees according to the regulations of the University. The names of those who may be admitted to their degrees in this congregation are to be seen on the printed lists that have been distributed.
Anrydeddus Isganghellor, cyflwyno fi ti ddisgyblion o'n prifysgol ni a enillodd radd baglor yn y celfyddydau. I, Professor Jonathan Osmond, present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts Kerry Matthew Barley, James Howard Bartlett, Elizabeth Jane Farrer Brooker, Laura Mary Brown, Andrew Philip Carey, Lawrence James Daly, Eva Evangelista, Sarah Christina Fionda, Mark John Glass, Gillian Louise Hawkins, John Isaac Hayter, Daniel Henderson, Claire Grace Holden, Rhys Hopkins, Laura Jade Mosley, Ian Stewart Pettit, Kinsey Carolyn Shepherd, Sarah Spellman, Martin Sweeney, Polly Claire van den Dale, Victoria Sui Lan Whale, Penelope Ann Williams, Stephen James Andrew Wills, Philip Malcolm Kemble, Nathan Charles Portlock.
Pnawnda, good afternoon. At this point in the ceremony, and at other equivalent times, I will speak in Welsh to admit groups of graduands. Each degree has a formula of admission, which, when translated, means, by the authority conferred upon me by the university, I admit you to the degree, which I will name, and to all the privileges of that degree. Prwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniad chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl ffreinio'r radd hon. Well done.
Daniel Banks, Charlotte Louise Baxter, Alexandra Blakemore, James Matthew Botwright, Jonathan Brooks Smith, Natalie Marguerite Claridge, Lydia Gill Sitlaw, Charlotte Edwina Dando, Simon Ralph Fisher, Louisa Jade Hancock, Adam Richard John Harvey, Lucy Imson, Natalie Diane Kershaw, Kirsty McKay, Colette Andrea Maxfield, Samuel Tobias Meadows, Tom Money, Claire Elizabeth Morgan, Robert Keith Neal, Janina Maria Parol, Helen Claire Peat, Laura Marie Piper, Lowry Sian Robshaw, Alexandra Caroline Rowe.
Prwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniad chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl ffreinio'r radd hon.
Eva Evangelista, Jane Elizabeth Smallridge, Joanne Frances Catherine Smith, Rachel Elizabeth Gould Smith, Eleni Sarah Marie Abrahams, Claire Button, Claire Louise Days, Jodie Louise Dubber, Jane Louise Eyre, Rosemary Jane Fairfax, Richard Flack Hastings, Elizabeth Sorcher Francis Hawksley, Mandy Ellen James, Joelle Therese Lee, David Robert Marcus, Kirsi Maria Pallas, Alexandra Smith, Martin John Sterry, Emma Jane Canham, Andrew Miles Fitzmaurice, Michelle Hazel Lucas, Rachel Newnham, Elizabeth Rebecca Tallis.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor yn y cyfyddydau ac I holl ffreiniau'r rathol.
James Aronson, Bettina Schiefner, Sarah Ackling, Asmara Azam, Christopher Bamsey, Thomas Barnacle, John Barnard, Stuart Richard Bench, Stephen John Biddlecombe, Claire Michelle Blewett, Paul Christopher Bolter, Sean Bonnet, Sharon Elizabeth Brain, Helen Jane Briaris, Simon James Callow, Anna Chapman, Benjamin Stephen Clacker, Timothy James Clark, Rebecca Elizabeth Clark, Gareth John Cousins, Michelle Louise Creek, Aidan M. Crook, Amber Louise Davis.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor yn y cyfyddydau ac I holl fryniau'r rathol.
Bethan Davis, Emma Louise Davis, Catherine Lisa Elcock, Stephen Mark Essery, Hannah Claire Evans, Keel Evans, Kerry Ann Elizabeth Fiddler, Elizabeth Jane Field, Sally Ann Franklin, Richard Manning Fulham, Ian Andrew James Fullerton, Thomas Brian Gogan, Daniel David Guy, Lee John Gwynn, Gwen Hanson, Martin John Hull, Helen Sarah Jackman, Rebecca Mary Elizabeth Jackson, Laura Alexandra Jeans, Laura Eve Jenkins, Sophie Patricia Johnson, Lowry Jane Jones, Mark Peter Jones, Owen John Jones, Jonathan Lane.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a amddiriedwyd I mi derbaniad chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl freiniawr rathom.
Ennis Launder, Anthony Jonathan Lloyd, James Long, Andrew Thomas Mannering, Charles Denison Morris, Sam Joseph Meller, Alid Morris, Eileen Muir, Helen Nichols, Thomas Richard Jan Oldfield, Jennifer Katie Orme, Claire Hannah Owen, David Parsons, David Edward James Perkins, Catherine Emma Preston, Eleanor Pulfer, Michael Mills Reed, Thomas James Robert Rees, Ned Riley, Thomas Howarth Riley, Jennifer Roberts, Ruth Joy Scammell, Georgia Katie Slade, Jennifer Rachel Smart, John Robert Stewart.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a amddiriedwyd I mi derbaniad chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl ffreniau'r rathol.
Emma Louise Taylor. Mary Gwenllian Thomas. Heather Louise Tinsley. Kieran Douglas Topping. Peter Weirn. Rebecca Louise Wheeler. Gideon Daniel Wilkins. David John Williams. Sophie Louise Williams. Keel Barry George Wright. Owain Clear Wright. Amy Catherine Jenkiewicz. Mark Rodri Lewis. David John Williams. Victoria Jane Alexia Heggs. Marika Wilkins. Daniel John Evans. Lindsay Margaret Ellis. Gemma Louise Harris. Laura Ellen Ann Hodges. Catherine Wynne Morgan. Lucy Tamlin.
Rhwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl ffreniau'r rathol.
A'n rhydeddus Is-Ganghellor, cyflwyna fi ti ddisgyblion o'n prifysgol ni a enillodd radd baglor mewn gwyddoniaeth. I, Professor Jonathan Osmond, present for the degree of Bachelor of Science, John Richard Bevan, Abigail Lucinda Carter, Luke William Craddock Bennett, Rachel Louise O'Hara, James Thomas Rawlings, David Andrew Whittaker, Evangelia Christou, Julianne Amy Louise Gregg, Amy Victoria O'Gallagher, Bronwyn Hazel Roberts.
Rhwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl ffreniau'r rathol.
Anrhydeddus Is-Ganghellor, cyflwyna fi ti ddisgyblion o'n prifysgol ni a enillodd radd baglor yn y celfyddydau. I, Professor Ralph Fevre, present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Selina Ahmed. Lindsay Claire Austin. Kelly Ann Barclay. Dina Ben Susan. Louise Breslin. Rebecca Elizabeth Clark. Mena Joy Cook. Thomas Philip Cook. Lucy Claire Cotty. Hannah Kroll. Holly Louise Crocker. Claire Louise Dillon. Rhian Maya Dodson. James William Fairley. Hannah Catherine G. Rachel Elizabeth Grady. Ella Louise Greenwood. Catherine Ellen Griffiths. Jodie Guest. Rebecca Ann Angela Hewings. Natalie Ann Hodgson. Siobhan Helena Horrigan.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a amddiriedwyd I mi derbaniau chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl frenia'r rathol.
Rhian Howells. Heather Philippa James. Claire Emma Jones. Nina Helen Keevan. Hannah Louise Victoria Kethrow. Rose Elise Candida Kirkwood. Charlene Knowles. Rhian Lovell. Sarah Jane Metcalf. Sian Louise Morgan. Rebecca Elizabeth Morley. Sally Ann Mosley. Victoria Novakovic. Danielle Maxine Oliver. Julie Mary Pemberton. Janice Elaine Phelan. Kirsty Ann Phillips. Nina Phillips. Catherine Ann Powell. Amy Victoria Rees. Rhian Ellery Rees. Catherine Hope Shaw.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a amddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl freniau'r rathol.
Michelle Jane Skews. Carol Menia Thomas. James Andrew Tomlinson. Rachel Amy Walker. Bethan Ware, Rhian Denise Watts, Kay Louise Wilkes, Lisa Ellis Williams, Nicola Catherine Williams, Annabel Mary Warlock, David Ernest Philip Adams, Catherine Jane Samwell, Laura Catherine Valentine, Selina Ann Beniston, Nicola Jane Bennett, Alice Charlotte Clayton, Alison Sian Jones, Anna Kate Lipscomb, Lawrence Joseph Escott, Nazneen Badat, Deborah Jane Beard, Julia Margaret Thomas, Amina Haman.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl fryniau'r radd hon.
Anrydeddus I Sganhechlor, cyflwyno fi ti ddisgyblion o'n prifysgol ni a unithloeth rath baglo mewn astudiaethau, economaeth a chymdeithasol. I, Professor Ralph Fev, present for the degree of Bachelor of Economic and Social Studies, Lucy Joanne Collins, Martin Graham John Evans, Lucy Hartston, Catherine Ann Irving, Katie Lynn Jones, Nia Catherine Jones, Brianna Kalik, Rachel Francis Lewis, Talithia Jane Lewis, Rachel Emma Mary Mealing, Gavin James Morris, Gregory Joseph Novak, Danielle Patricia Price, Derica Jane Price, Gary Andrew Rees, Sarah Rebecca Rowe, Francesca Denise Williams, Clive Lawrence Aldridge, Michelle Jane Baker, Alice Henley Mary Beale, Jennifer Margaret Benton, Jane Bernardes, Julia Marie Besley, Lucy Borum, Philip Brayley,
Trwy awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor mewn astudiaethau economaeth a chymdeithasol ac I holl fryniau'r radd hon.
Gemma Louise Cave, Holly Clift, Charlotte Elizabeth May Collier, Gemma Cook, Sarah May Cullen, Bethan Abigail Curtis, Nia Hilary Davies, Sarah Davies, Charlotte Victoria Dorian, Heather Drew, Julie Ellison, Laura Catherine Fairbairn, Susanna Jane Fegan, Catherine Louise Furs, Anna Victoria Goodchild, Rebecca Louise Griffin, Natalie Fiona Hall, Naomi Harris, Jared Charles Harrison, Bethany Sarah Haycock, Emma Catherine Higgins, Anna Louise Hill, Laura Elizabeth Hopkins, Matthew John Hopwood, Lawrence David Humphreys.
Trwy awdurdod o brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I rodd beglor mewn astudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ac I hoff fryniau'r raddol.
Ocean Gorey John, Hayley Sarah Jones, Catherine Ella Jones, Stephen Ronald King, Gemma Lewis, Nia Jane Lewis, Vicky Beth Lowenberger, Lorna Jane Claire Madden, Hannah Marie Marsh, Megan Hilary Martin, Hannah McGillivray, Helen Janet Millington, Fiona Elizabeth Mills, Philip John Moody, Christian David Allen Oliver, Nicola Emma Palmer, Laura Jane Peace, Rowena Claire Pettit, Leanne Rose Plechowitz, Elizabeth Price, Tamsin Raven, Samantha Richards, James Jonathan Richmond, Kate Riddler, Sarah Elizabeth Rose.
Trwy awdurdod o brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I rodd beglor mewn astudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ac I holl fryniau'r raddol.
James Robert Semmons. Robin James Smith. Claire Elizabeth Sullivan. Helen Ann Taylor. Eleanor Thompson. Emma Elizabeth Toombs. Thomas James Trobe. Alexandra Lorraine Tooley. David Lloyd Uncles. Louise Emma Warren. Martha Z. Warrener. Kelly Louise Weaver. Holly Louisa Wilcox. Claire Leanne Young. Joanna Rosemary Dack. Lara Gale Delaney. Gemma Downs. Dawn Greenberg. Jennifer Claire Moorcraft. Laura Alexandra Kate Woods. Claire St James Roberts. Catherine Margaret Hoole. Helen Louise Muller. Emily Ruth Standing.
Rwy awdurdod o brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd beglor mewn astudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ac I holl ffreniau'r brathon.
Kelly Marie Bates. Laura Jenny Bowden. Carly Louise Brown. Douglas Andrew Crow. Helen Claire Furlow. Amy Louise Griffiths. Daniel Stephen Mason. Anne-Marie Minns. Victoria Sarah Padfield. Neil Anthony Patterson. Clive Victor Bailey. Lawrence Edward Bridges. Lisa Eleanor Davies. Lisa Ann Moore. Jacqueline Suzanne Morris. Mira Naresh Shah. Gareth James Vaughan. Paul Richard Bradbury. Matthew John Brayley. Emma Mary Cook. Sian Louise David. Delith Sian Edwards. Sarah Louise Emery. Hilary Ann Evans.
Rwy awdurdod o brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd beglor mewn astudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ac I holl freniau'r rathon.
Emma Leslie Evans. Betson Frowen. Claire Joanna Gibbs. Joanna Grenfell. Claire Eleanor Gwynne Jones. Nathan Lewis Jones. Priya Kambaita. Jessica Mary Knights. Claire Marie Masters. Hayley Patricia McCaffrey. James William Newbury. Heather Mary Nurse. Dawn Leanne Oakley. Katie Pope. Lucille Hannah Roberts. Lorelei Simon. Erica Spink. Katie Ellen Judith Stolliday. Gareth John Stephen Thomas. Hannah Venables. Joel Daniel Robert Wernick. Daniel Christopher James Wood.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol, a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd beglor mewn astudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ac I holl freniau radd hon.
Gareth David Thomas. Charlotte Julia Boddy. Tamla Monique Frater. Emma Caroline Groves. Bryony Rachel Hancock. Triana and Harriet Jones. Louisa McKay. Aislinn Maeve McGibbon. Rebecca Joanne Mills. Michelle Louise Peck. Louise Simone Wayne. Suhur Abdi. Joanne Buckland. Michelle Bernadette Dunn. Leanne Elizabeth Morgan. Kate O'Shea. Rebecca Parker Kahn.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol, a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd beglor mewn astudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ac I holl freniau radd hon.
Anrydethus Isgan Heclor, cyflwynodd I ti ddisgyblion o'n prifysgol ni a unedlaeth Rath Baglor mewn addysg. I, Professor Ralph Firth, present for the degree of Bachelor of Education, Alan Robert Ackerman, Joan Wynne Edwards, Glyn Gully, Adrian Arthur Hemmons, Jeanette Lynn Jones, David Peter Morgan, Sandra Elaine Morris, Mike Packwood, Owen Robert Pritchard, Paul Quinn, June Tate, Jill Wilkins, Nicola Jane Workman.
Trwy awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor mewn addysg ac I holl freniau rathol.
Anrhydeddus Sis Ganhellor, cyflwynaf I ti ddisgyblion o'n prifysgol ni a enillodd radd baglor yn y celfyddydau. Rebecca Austin, Mary Louise Collins, Jenny Sarah Davis, Kate Drakeford, Rhiannon Eleri Evans, Bethan Felicity Ford, Bethan Mair Lloyd George, Rhys Iorwerth, Chrisley Sian Jones, Rhiannon Elizabeth Law, Christopher Martin Mason, Llian Morris, Dafydd Gwilym Morris Jones, Heledd Fflir Owen, Lisa Mary Pew, Joanna Marie Stevenson, Elizabeth Emma Wilson, Natalie Lewis, Ruth Siobhan Megan, Lucy Jane Williams.
Trwy awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniaf chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl freniau rathol.
Rhian Elizabeth Adams, Adrian Peter Brake, Nia Lewis, Fflir Owens, Stacey Louise Harris, Sharina Pradhan.
Trwy awdurdod y brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniaf chwi I radd baglor yn y celfyddydau ac I holl freniau rathol. Well done.
Anrydeddus ysgain hechlo. Gyflwyno fi ti disgyblion o'n prifysgol ni a unithlodd radd athro yn y celfyddydau. I present for the degree of Master of Arts, Darren James Howden. Nicola Joe Meller. James Timothy Fenwick. Anne Helen Sutton. Aduola Ayudeli Adufui. Nicholas Benjamin Brain. Louisa Diapoli. Weiwei Ku. Wan Ming Ling. Ping Ju Liu. Maria Karina Rasanin. Meng Zhao. Hong Zhu. Joanna Louise Donaldson. Antigone Papanicolaou. Kellen Williams.
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd athro yn y celfyddydau ac I holl franiau radd hon.
Catherine Susan Baker. Laura Elizabeth Bamford. Rebecca Elizabeth Knight. Michelle Louise Nash. Hannah Marie Nicole. Claire Elizabeth Webster. Rachel Emma Addis. Alison Claire Shepherd. Joan Carmel Spellman. Rebecca Zara Wells. Jane Ellen Weller. and Harrod Ellen Blythe, Howell Gwyn Williams, Sarah Jane Astley,
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniau chwi I radd athro yn y celfyddydau ac I holl ffrainiau'r radd hon.
Anrydeddus ysgain hechlo, cyflwyno fi ti, disgyblion o'n prifysgol ni a enillodd radd athro mewn astudiaethau economaidd a cymdeithasol. I present, for the degree of Master of Economic and Social Studies, Rachel Grace Sarah Adkins, Lisa Rhiannon Cook, Melanie Ernest, Claire Louise Evans, Michelle Jacqueline Fourie, Natalie Ann Griffiths, Joanna Rosemary Haig, Claire Ann Mary Matthews, Janine Morris, Jasmine Tredigda, Timothy James Thomas, Alexandra Jane Allen, Karen Hazel Chalk, Nicola Joy Critchlow, Alison Claire Elderfield, Peter Harris, Daljit Kaur Jahal, Catherine Emma Jones, Glyndŵr Rhys Lloyd, Andrew McKechnie, Alexander Richard Westhope Miles, Zhen Yu Shu, Emma Jane King,
Prwy awdurdod o brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd ethro mewn astudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ac I holl ffreiniau'r rathol.
Anrydeddus ysgain hechlo, cyflwy'n a fi ti, disgyblion o'n proffysgol ni a enithlodd radd athro mewn athroniaeth. I present for the degree of Master of Philosophy, Evan McCarthy Chapman. Marcus Charles Killick. Marion Williams.
Prwy awdurdod o brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd athro mewn athroniaeth ac I holl ffreniau'r rathol.
Anrydeddus ysgain hechlo, cyflwy'n a fi ti, disgybl o'n proffysgol ni a enithlodd radd doethir mewn addysg. Jennifer Shirley Can.
Prwy awdurdod o brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd doethir mewn addysg ac I holl ffreiniau'r rathol.
Anrydeddus ysgain hechlo, cyflwy'n a fi ti, disgyblion o'n proffysgol ni a enithlodd radd doethir mewn athroniaeth. I present for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Janet Bardsley. Anna Lena Eriksson. Frances Margaret Gregory. Kirsty Joanne Hudson. Timothy John Gilg. David McGlynn. Muhammad Zayani Mohammed Zain. Amelia Gale Panett. Alison Jane Parkin. Pamela Mary Salvage. Susan Scott. Emma Jane Wilby. Matthew Leighton Williams. Neil Rhys Wooding. David Yeoman.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol, a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniaf chwi, I radd doethwyr mewn athroniaeth ac I holl freiniau'r radd hon.
Anrydeddus ysgain heclo, Cameradoia VT, y hai a nodwyn anna haglan I dderbyn anhai absynoldeb a'i graddau perthnasol. I present all those who are to receive their degrees in absentia.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol, a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniaf a rhai a nodwyd yn ei habsenoldeb, yw graddau perthnasol ac I holl ffraniau'r graddau hynny.
Anewch i'r myfyrwyr sydd wedi derbyn eich graddau y prynhawn yma, gyd sefyll I dderbyn cyfarchion I slywydd y Brifysgol a warden Urdd y Graddedigion. Can I invite all of you who have been admitted to your degrees this afternoon to stand so that you can receive the greetings of the Vice President of the University and the Warden of the Guild of Graduates. Rwch I sefyll sgwch na. Please stand.
Boed eich gofal yn wastad dros lwydd ac anrydydd ein prifysgol am grad. May your care always be for the good name and honour of our university and our country.
Llongyfarchiadau a croeso I Urdd y Graddedigion Prifysgol Cymru. Congratulations and welcome to the Guild of Graduates of the University of Wales.
A chyn I chi eistedd eto, before you sit down, I'm sure that all of you very proud graduates would like to join in a tradition at Cardiff at these ceremonies, and that is to pay a special tribute to your families and friends, and indeed to the academic staff who have supported you over many long years to reach this point in your career today. Now is your opportunity to turn around to greet them and to say a special thank you to them all by giving them all a big round of applause and to say a public thank you. A newch I ddangos eich gwerthfawrogiad os gwelwch yn dda. Please show your appreciation.
Vice-Chancellor, with your permission, I shall not present the fellows in the order listed in the programme, but take them in reverse order. Vice-Chancellor. John Percival was born and brought up in the Roman city of Colchester, and there's no better place to develop youthful enthusiasm for the ancient world. Surveying the sweep of history from the coming of the Romans to the arrival of Marcones, he would be a beast indeed whose heart did not beat to the tread of Roman legionaries, thrill to revolting Britons, and follow with awe the landing of early Christian missionaries on the coast nearby. Also, one would wish to think, for these are the terms which map out John Percival's principal academic interests. His first love was and remains the Latin language and its literature, and his joy is transmitting them to another generation. His career has spanned a period during which the study of the Roman Empire and its fall has been transformed by the incorporation of material culture and the techniques of economic and social history into the long tradition of text-based history, and his has been a significant contribution to this development. He has researched the late Roman, Merovingian and Carolingian periods in France, and is now best known for his work on the change of function, as a planning application would have to describe it, of Roman villas into Christian monasteries, forging a link between the ancient and the Christian worlds where once there was believed to be an unbridgeable gulf. John Percival's standing can be judged from the fact that his book, The Roman Villa from 1976, is still a much-read work and has achieved the distinction of a book club edition. I say distinction because that is what it is to have an impeccable piece of academic work widely disseminated to the non-specialist reader and listed, I can tell you, in 3,163 websites. I tried it this morning. Its author is indeed a first-rate communicator. Nothing else could account for the unequalled enthusiasm expressed in feedback forms from his students, including once, I understand, a proposal of marriage. Alongside his beloved Latin, John has maintained a devout and active involvement in Christianity and has served the Church in Wales in a lay capacity on more bodies and committees than most lay people have even heard of. He was educated at Colchester Royal Grammar School and Oxford and was appointed assistant lecturer in Cardiff in 1962, becoming head of his school for 8 years, sitting on innumerable committees at local and national level and receiving the OBE in 2002 on his retirement. As Dean, Deputy Principal and Pro-Vice-Chancellor, he gave invaluable support and advice to a succession of, I may say, very different principals and Vice-Chancellors. At the time of the greatest turbulence in Cardiff's recent history, his advice was invariably sage and invariably ethically based. And it is small wonder, sir, that many colleagues, young and old, revere him as a guide as much as they love him as a man and admire him as a scholar. Anrhydeddus is ganghellor, caflwyna fi ti yr athro John Percival fe Cymrawd Prifysgol Caerdydd. Vice-Chancellor, the news media have an insatiable appetite for schisms, disruptions and storms which overflow the ecclesiastical teacup. To them, Archbishop Morgan is a severe disappointment, being admired and held in affection to a degree which could not be understood by those who merely draw their information about the affairs of the Church from the newspapers, or indeed, I may say, from the works of Anthony Trollope. The reason is that Dr. Morgan is trusted because he is without pretensions, very approachable, and known to know all the jobs of his clergy thoroughly from the inside. He will not mind if I call him an ordinary person, for he is one who rose from the shop floor, as it were, to his present position at the head of the board, from curate in 1973 to Bishop of Bangor in 1993, Llandaff in 1999, and Archbishop of Wales in 2003, serving at every level and in a majority of the diocese of Wales along the way. He was born in Meath and educated at University College London and at Cambridge, and holds the PhD of the University of Wales. Throughout his career, he's been notable for his interest in social inclusivity, and over and again has put his thorough understanding of the life of the ordinary people of Wales at the service of the public. Just to look at recent years, we find him taking a leading part in the movement for a living wage for Wales, and chairing tomorrow's Wales, Cymru Yfory, which is working to implement the recommendations of the Richards Commission on the Future of the National Assembly. Within the Church, he serves on the Primate Standing Committee, the Anglican Consultative Council and the Ames Commission, which is looking at the life and work of the Anglican Communion. Wales, as we know, has led the world in many things, and historically has not been backward in the matter of working bishops. We read of the surprise of visitors to St. David's at the beginning of the 19th century at finding Bishop Burgess at his desk, surrounded by his ledgers and correspondence, like a businessman. This tradition is strongly maintained, so much so that we wonder that Dr. Morgan has time for other interests at all, yet he has, notably golf and the poetry of R.S. Thomas, on the latter of which he is currently writing a book. The subject of golf raises for just a moment the one doubt which assails us about his position in the Church in Wales. What are we to make of the fact that he, as chairman of the board, invariably wins the corporate golf trophy? His skill on the course is, I am told, very great, and we thankfully take his success as a visible sign of his undoubted fitness for his high office. Anrhydeddus is ganghellor, cyflwyna fi ti y parchedicaf Dr. Barry Morgan yr Asgesgob Cymru fel Cymrawd Anrhyddedd Prifysgol Caerdydd. Vice-Chancellor, in episode 31 of Monty Python's Flying Circus, competitors were required to summarise Marcel Proust's famous 4,000-page novel in 15 seconds. In perhaps a similar spirit, your programme appears to offer you a summary of the career of Francis Cairncross in a few minutes. The thing can no more be done than could the task in the fictional competition all those years ago. Francis Cairncross was educated at Oxford and the Ivy League Brown University, reading first history and then economics. She spent periods on the financial staff of the Times, the Banker and the Observer, soon proving the survival of the Victorian art of higher journalism, in which the latest intellectual developments are set in political, social and historical context, informing business people, policy makers and politicians, and giving voters the information necessary to make electoral decisions. Next, she was economics correspondent for The Guardian from 1973 to 1984, before moving to The Economist, where she's been management editor for the past 5 years. She chairs the Economic and Social Research Council and is a senior fellow at the School of Public Policy at UCLA. Her books are enormously influential. Capital City of 1976, for example, was no less than an explanation of why, having lost its empire, London did not follow Babylon and Palmyra into oblivion. The answer, and the lesson for the future, was the low degree of regulation on the city and the removal of incentives for firms to move offshore. The Death of Distance in 1997 was a wide-ranging review of the impact of the communications revolution on work and play, and the issues were updated in The Company of the Future in 2002 to take account of the enormous burgeoning of internet activity in the intervening years, and to provide the terms in which managers will have to gauge and guide their success in the future. She received the CBE in the New Year's Honours 2004. You might think, sir, that I have fulfilled the condition of rapid summary, but in truth I am like Mr. Harry Baggott of Luton, who only reached page 1 of Proust at the Arthur Ludlow Memorial Baths, Newport. For later this year, Francis Cairncross becomes Rector of Exeter College, Oxford, and High Sheriff of London, and for 2005 to 6, the President of the British Association for the Advancement of Science. We look forward to these future pages, finding the one we have already skimmed, more than enough to make us proud of enrolling her as an honorary fellow of Cardiff University. Anrhydeddus is ganghellor cyflwyno fi ti Francis Cairncross fel cymrawd Rhyngwladedd Prifysgol Caerdydd.
Vice-Chancellor, graduates, parents and supporters, ladies and gentlemen, can I say first of all, on behalf of all of us here on the platform, diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts for the honour that you have done us today. I, for one, look forward very much to sustaining and developing the connection with this distinguished university that this honour has established. I want to congratulate all the new graduates here, but I also want to congratulate their parents and supporters. I too, fairly recently with my husband, have put 2 daughters through university, and I'm vividly aware not just of the expense but also of the worry. Half the time you worry that they're working much too hard, and a great deal more than half the time you worry that they're not working at all. It's very trying, but here they are, the proof that actually they were working after all. Congratulations to all of you on this splendid achievement. Can I just give you, as one does on this occasion, 3 brief words of advice? First of all, don't expect too much too soon. All of you who are about to embark on your careers may very well find that the first few years are rather a come-down, rather a disappointment. You're either trying to work out what on earth you want to do with your life, or you find that there are no jobs in the career that you thought you had chosen, or worst of all, you find that you don't really like the job that you thought was the career that you'd chosen. Don't be too depressed about it. It comes right pretty quickly. But plunge straight in. Don't wait. Get a job of some sort, go to lots of interviews, start right away. And you will find, give it 2, 3, 4 years, that suddenly you've forgotten about the worry and you're actually enjoying what you're doing. Secondly, keep in touch. All of you here have made good friendships in your time at this university. Often they will have been with people from other countries or from other social backgrounds, people with whom you wouldn't have imagined having friendships before you came here. Work at your friendships. Make sure you and your friends stay in touch as you scatter into the job market. And work too at your connection with this distinguished university, because it will go on for many years. Come back to it. Come back and see the people who taught you. They will really love it if you do. Come back and get some more intellectual refreshment. And if you do very well in your job, remember the university and support the next generations of students who will tread where you have trod. Finally, all of us go through periods in our lives when we feel some sense of insecurity or uncertainty about whether we're capable of doing the task ahead of us. I should think everybody here on this platform, however distinguished, still has that experience from time to time. When it hits you, think about this day and what it symbolizes. You have managed to get a degree at one of Britain's most demanding and distinguished universities, one of Europe's most demanding and distinguished universities. That is a terrific achievement. So be proud of yourself, stand tall, have confidence, many congratulations, and lots of luck. Thank you very much.
I now have the duty to close the proceedings. But before I do so, I wish to offer my appreciation and thanks to our new fellows for accepting our invitation to the fellowship. And now, after this last minute, to thank Ms. Frances Cairncross for her generous and most valuable advice. I think if you're able to take away those few sentences which she has just uttered, you will be very grateful to her and to the university. It's an occasion of much pleasure. It was a particular pleasure to see you all come across the platform. And I was particularly struck by the pride and the relief and the excitement which you showed as you passed the Vice-Chancellor. But I'm very envious of the loads and loads of beautiful smiles that the Vice-Chancellor had from all of you, men and women. And it says a lot for you that there are so many smiling faces here this afternoon. This is an occasion for me really to say more. I hope that you have enjoyed the proceedings, but as you go out into the world, I hope you will take away very many happy memories of your time with us here, and that you will become good ambassadors, as the Vice-Chancellor reminds you inside the programme, good ambassadors for this university. And of course we have to be practical always on these occasions. There is one other thing. When you have cleared all those worrisome debts, and we know that so many of you have them, and when you've made your fame and fortune, yes, come back to the university. Don't forget the university at all, and instruct your bank manager accordingly. Llongyfarchiadau, and warmest congratulations to you all. Every success in the future. Good luck. Pob hwyl a pob lwc. Thank you.